Sports Podcast Show alongside with my co-host Arielle Schafer, and then this is episode 640. Joined by special guest Kareem Grimes. He's an actor. He acted in a bunch of movies, but I know him from his show All American. Actually, I interviewed your cast member Emil Hall on my show back in the day.
Yeah, that's my guy, man.
Yeah, he's a young kid growing, and he's gonna be a star. But I just want to say thank you for joining us today on the show, and it's gonna be a great interview. I'm really honored for this opportunity, and I just want to say, how are you and your family doing so far during this tough situation?
We're good, man. I'm good, man. My mom's good. I have a niece and nephew. They're good. So, no complaints, man. Just blessings.
So I'll let my co-host start off again.
Hello, good morning from the West Coast. Right, 7 a.m. like you told me. So I want to hop right into your journey. I mean, like my co-host said, you know, we know you from All American, but you have a pretty stacked resume. So what made you want to go into this profession and kind of walk me through the beginning to where you are right now?
Just you know, growing up watching a lot of TV and really just performing. I was my parents had a company over, always wanted to put on a show. And you know, I think that's what really started it, man. And you know, from that point on, really just telling my mom, hey, you know, this is what I want to do. And you know, by the grace of God, my mom had some friends in the business already. So I started off doing extra work first. And then my first acting class was Marla Gibbs, the legendary Marla Gibbs from 227 The Jeffersons.
Okay.
Her and her daughter Angela Gibbs had a acting class on Crenshaw Boulevard. And that was my first taste, really, of just the craft, and I fell in love with it. And you know, from there on, just really started to stick with it. I was constantly in class, learning everything from, you know, acting, stage combat, dancing, and vocals. So, you know, just getting that under my belt as a young kid, and you know, taking that on to me to, you know, on sets where, like I said, I was doing extra work and just loving it. And, you know, happened to be an extra on a film called Boys in the Hood. At the time, they were looking for, my mom's friend was like, yeah, we're looking for, you know, Black kids who can skateboard. At that time, that's what I was doing.
Okay.
And got on set, and maybe like a week into shooting, you know, we're just throwing a ball around at lunchtime, and you know, John Singleton comes over, is talking to all of us.
Cool.
And you know, he started asking me questions and was like, yo, you know, I'm gonna give you some lines. Are you cool with that? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And you know, from that point on, that's how it started. That's how I got into SAG, and that's how really it kind of kick-started my career. And from that point on, we just been rolling ever since.
Wow,
Incredible.
that's amazing. So my question here: who did you look up to in the acting business while growing up, and who was your biggest influencer? Like, who helped you along the way?
Yeah, I had some friends of mine. This brother by the name of Marlon Taylor, and my boy Garland Spencer. Marlon is no longer in the business, but my boy Garland is still in the business. But those are cats that I grew up with, that were a lot. They were ahead of the game.
Yeah.
You know, further than me. But I definitely looked up to those guys. And then, you know, as you get older, of course, you look up to the Jaleel Whites. You know what I'm saying? You look up to the Bumper Robinsons, you know, of the business. Those guys who, you know, have been in it much longer than me. But, you know, growing up, you look up to those guys. And, you know, as you get older, of course, you know, you look up to the Denzel Washington, the Jeffrey Wrights, you know. So yeah, I can go on and on, but yeah, those are people that, you know, I definitely look up to. Definitely Michael B. Jordan. Cats that are in, that are in my range. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's such good people to look up to. And
yeah,
100%. And so I only really, for the most part, have interviewed athletes up to this point. You're my first actor I've ever interviewed. So I was always wondering, and I had this conversation with my father, I forget what movie we were watching, but we always wanted to know like the production side of this. So like, walk me through a day on set, because I know like your scenes are not shot obviously all in one day. So kind of walk me through a typical day on set of I don't know if there's a difference between movie and television, but kind of just set the scene for us.
Yeah, it just depends. There's a difference between sitcom half-hour television. That would be like Martin or what is that? Friends. So typical for them is they come in on Monday, they have a table read. Tuesday they start rehearsing. Tuesday they rehearse. Wednesday they start blocking, and by Thursday they're actually shooting. So that's half hour. Our television, what I do for All American, it takes 9 days to shoot one episode. So the typical is, you have your call time, you go in. Now with COVID, you definitely get tested. You get tested, I think, 2 days before you start shooting, and the day of. So you go in, you get tested, you get your results. Hopefully they're negative. You go to your trailer. From there on, you can either get breakfast if you want to. Some of the time, your wardrobe may be in your trailer already. So, I'll just grab some breakfast real quick, and then I'll just get into my wardrobe. And then by that time, you're either going to hair and makeup to get ready. And then from that point on, it just depends. You either have, 30 minutes to an hour before you're on set. And then at this time, you just kind of in your trailer, either you're going over your scenes or you're highlighting your scenes for today. And, somebody will knock on the door, your PA, and be like, hey, they'll give you a countdown. Hey, you got 15, 5, 10 minutes or whatever. And then, depending on how far the set is, you go out, they have a golf cart, they drive you to the set, you have your chair, you have your designated area. You either meet with the director and whoever your scene partner is. You'll do a rehearsal, and that's just for either lines and also camera to find out how the director wants to shoot or whatever. From there on, you do a rehearsal. You do it maybe once or twice. And then they have stand-ins that come in and stand in. So while they're lighting and getting the cameras and everything together, you kind of go back and get mic'd. So they put a mic on you and everything. And then from that point, you just kind of like chilling until it's time to actually shoot your scene. So, you just get prepared, as much as possible. You either run the scene with your partner and, you go up on set and boom, what I'm saying? You make it happen. So that's pretty much like, a typical on an hour. Film, it's different. Once you book it, they either schedule a big table read for everybody. And then it just depends on the director, rehearsal or not. But once you do the table read, then it's just more, you get wardrobe fitting, and then your location of where you're going to be shooting, your trailer, you get there, and just kind of like the same thing. You get there, get your trailer, get tested, get your breakfast, food, hair and makeup, and just kind of wait.
Wow. I mean, like what you just said is a lot of people like, actors and, the people in the film or the TV is important, but you don't realize how many behind the scenes people there is. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, in my head, I'm thinking like, there must be like 100 people on set sometimes, like where maybe.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
And then that's not even post-production too. Like,
yeah. So you have, you have your production assistants, you have wardrobe, You have audio, you have props to where their main job is just to make sure you have your props, whether it's a watch, bill folder, backpack, whatever it is. And then you have hair and makeup. Then you have grips, lighting. Yes, it's definitely a team effort when doing these productions.
That's so interesting. Wow.
That's really behind. I mean, that you told us like pretty much everything about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So my next question to you, obviously you're outgoing outside of acting. So I gotta ask you this: how tough is it to change your personality, especially in these movies and like the one you acted in The Hood and in All American? You're like a tough gang member, and how tough is it to change your personality from outside of acting into that? And yeah,
I think for me it's I mean that's the beauty about what I do is that you can transform into somebody, and people that know you, they're like, yo, that's not the Kareem I grew up with, or he's so different. And I think that's the beauty of it is it is make believe, but I think every character that I portray, there's a little bit of me in it, personally. So, but it's for me, born and raised in Los Angeles, born and raised in Inglewood, growing up in South Central, for me, playing that character Preach is. Right. I grew up with a bunch of preachers, so it was easy to, kind of channel that. And but 9 times, I mean, for the most part, man, I'm laid back, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a story of I gang banged and this and that. Nah, I was busy, man. Like literally, my mom kept me busy with sports and acting, so I really didn't have time to run the streets or go that path. So for me, it's easy, man, to just kind of get in and out of character. That's just part of it. Like I said, I've been doing this so long, it's second nature now.
It's acting's like an art,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it truly is an art.
Yeah. So I mean, have you I want to ask this question of where you are now. I mean, obviously, like I said, your resume is incredible. Where you are right now is great. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because I know sometimes actors, maybe they want to get into directing, producing side, because that's also art too. You need to have a vision. So you see you still doing movies, television. Would you want to go into comedy, like producing, directing? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, I think for me being in this business, I encompass everything. So right now I'm producing. So that's part of it. I definitely see myself still being in front of the camera, but also producing, directing, and just creating. So, I'm in this thing to the wheels off. So, and that's everything. I'm not leaving a stone unturned. So I definitely want to be in the next 5 years, definitely doing more television, more films, but also creating for myself, but also giving people the opportunity to get in the business and shine as well.
Do you have a specific, if you could book a dream television show type thing, what would it look like?
That's good. That's a good question. Man, that is good. I think a dream TV show would literally be, for me, something that gives drama and comedy, the mixture. So it shows both sides. That would probably be the dream role for a TV show for me. So something maybe on HBO.
Okay.
Who knows?
Right.
But I think something that gives you a mixture of both comedy and drama.
Okay, cool. We heard it here first, and we don't know what the title is,
cool.
but we heard it here first.
Arielle getting some breaking news.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is a two-part question for here. The first one. So out of all the films you acted in, and what's it like just experiencing each film and then learning from your each cast member that you worked with throughout the years, and what's it like? What have you learned throughout your acting business and seeing these other cast members and seeing their talent grow with you? And the next part of this, obviously, season 3 is coming out soon for All American. So what are you most looking forward to that?
Well, to answer your first, I've been fortunate, blessed to work with some, Oscar winners and just, amazing people. I think what I've learned too, just along the way, is just professionalism. Treating everybody with respect, whether they're above the line or below the line. And what that means is above the line is, producers, directors. Below the line, PAs, things that nature, and treating everybody with respect, because you never know that PA could be, the next director or have the next, big screenplay. So you always just want to treat everybody with respect. And then just learning from, a person I learned from, literally, to kind of go back to your question when you were saying as far as how easy or being able to go in character and out of character is Jamie Foxx. I did Jarhead, and being around that dude, we created a cool bond. We will always go play basketball after we shot. But just hanging out with him, that dude will literally be in a full conversation, jokes, the whole nine. Director's like, all right, about to shoot this scene, cameras rolling, action. And Jamie will literally snap right into character. And it was just scary, like, you expecting a joke, and this dude is dead serious.
Oh my God!
In whatever role or character that he's doing, especially in this in Jarhead, he played a sergeant. So he was bossing around. But when I tell you, he went from jokes to being real serious, I was just like, it is crazy. Wow. Who else? George Clooney. When I did ER, I remember I was just nervous, and George, he pulled me to the side. He was just like, "Hey man, you got the job. You good, relax, let's go shoot some hoop." And anybody that knows George Clooney, he's a big basketball fan. And at that time they had put a basketball court outside on the set for him, strictly for him. So we went out there and played a game of 21. So just learning to just relax, and then also too, what I've learned to also pass that on to actors, actresses that I run into, come across, who are fairly new to the business, or they booked the role. This may be their biggest role or whatever. So just kind of giving back to them what I've learned, just paying it forward. Your second question, I think for me, man, because of just the fans that we have for All American and how they're so tapped into the show.
Yep.
I think I'm just looking forward to really, giving the fans season 3 and what we have for them. The first, I started working we started shooting in October, and I worked maybe the first week in October and read the first 3 scripts. And I was just like, yo, the All American fans are in for a show. Season 3 is, if you thought season 2 was good, season 3, man, is literally like on a whole nother level. Like, and it starts off out the gate, setting the bar high, setting the tone for season 3. So I'm more excited just to give the fans, this season 3, and see what's up with Preach, see if we can get Preach out of jail.
Yeah.
But everything that goes on. So that's what I'm most excited about. Just really for you guys and just the fans to be able to sit back, relax every Monday and watch this show and just the lessons, but also the entertainment of it as well.
I finished season 2 in 2 days. I binge watched season 1. That's how good this show is. I got hooked on it after season 1, episode 1. That's when I got hooked on it. And then I binge watched season 2. And Arielle, you gotta get on this. Come on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I really hate to say this, I have not seen any of it yet. My sister's a huge fan, and she's like kind of like out the door right now, like kind of trying to listen to this. She's a huge fan. I please that's on my first of my TBD list to watch All American. Like, you know how you watch shows, and all my friends are obsessed. I'm a rower down at University of Alabama, and my coach always brings up
Roll Tide.
So I'm so, he was like, oh, I love this show. He tweets all about it. And then, because, when I'm very close with my rowing coach, and I told him who I was interviewing today, he was like, no way. I was like, yeah, so very excited, but I have not seen it. I will watch it probably as soon as I get off this. I'll probably start too.
Yeah, you have until January 18th to get all caught up. So
I think if he watched it in 2 days, I think I'm going to be the same
There it is.
Can we get Jamie Foxx on our show, by the way?
Man, listen, that would be dope. That dude is super busy. He's got like a TV show. He's got a few TV shows, a movie he's directed, man. So that dude is super busy.
Yeah.
He's in everything.
Super busy.
I love the fact that you said that you were nervous, and like, so with me being an athlete, when our coach says when you're nervous for something, that means you care. And I love that. And I notice in your background right now, you have a quote. So is that the quote you live by? I wanted to, because I found a quote from you, and I wanted to correct me if I'm wrong. It says, a career is like your bank account. The more you deposit into your career, the better it will be. So is that a quote you live by? Like, kind of, what is like your one quote? And I feel like sometimes with athletes, we have our one quote that motivates us, and kind of,
I think that's it. This quote is from my mom. Anybody that knows me and that meets my mom, when you meet her, you'll say, "Hey, how you doing, ma'am?" And she'll say, "I'm blessed by the best, and I'm praying for you and the rest." And she just like bring it in for a hug. So this is her quote that she that she says every time you meet her. But for me, that is it. I think, and that just goes in with life. The more you deposit into whatever it is, your passion, whatever you find that you love, the more you put into it, the more you dedicate time to it, the greater your return. And that same thing with athletes. You practice. You go to the gym, you work, you study film, you're constantly improving your skill set. And over time, the more you do that, the better you become. So that's just, for me, that's just how I live life. Every day I try to deposit something into my career, something into my life, whether it's, working out, whether it's, trying to create content, whatever it is, I try to deposit something each and every day into it. Because I know if I keep putting deposits in, that bank gets big,
right.
And then, when it's time to withdraw, you have some things that you can be able to withdraw from. So yeah, absolutely. That's what I live by. And that just goes for just life in general. Whatever it is you want, whatever it is that you desire, you put 110% into it every day, you're going to get something great out of it.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah, that's really inspiring. Those two quotes, the one behind you and the one she just said, those are the most inspiring quotes I've heard.
Yeah.
But So this next question to you, obviously, do these like people that help you out during acting? Did they give you like an outline what to get ready for these certain films? Like for example, workout routine, nutrition, or these other things. Like athletes have their own outlines, or they have people that help them too. So do you guys have that?
It just depends on what the role is for, but for the most part, I think, for me, and like athletes, they say when you look good, you play good and you feel good. So for me, it's, making sure I'm in the best shape to where when I'm on camera, I look good on camera. You never want to you never want to look crazy on camera, you know what I'm saying? Or, you never want to be that guy to where they're like, hey, we got to get the stunt double, the body double. Come on, get the body double in here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's always running through my mind. Listen, I don't want to be that guy that be like, Kareem, for this scene, we're going to get somebody else in just to kind of double you from the neck down. So you can just go in and sit this one out. You know what I'm saying? So you never want to be that. You never want to be that person. So for me, that's why, I definitely take care of myself and work out every day. And for me, that just helps me, my mind, body, and spirit. That's my me time. Really, whatever it is that, I'm thinking of going through, I know I can just go work out and get it out.
Yeah. That's important. And
Absolutely.
I kind of want to switch to some sports things with you. Like I'm
let's
so glad
do
I
it.
mentioned the University of Alabama. So are you a huge fan? Like who's your favorite college football fan? Is it Alabama?
No, it's not. I respect them.
Okay.
But I'm a Southern California guy, so USC, UCLA, big Lakers fan all day. And I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Okay.
And I've been a 49ers fan since the days of Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, Ronnie Lott, Clark, so I go back to that. Those are, that's how I became a 49ers fan.
Awesome. So I want to ask you, like with the NBA, preseason started yesterday, or today.
The Lakers won.
Yeah, I know.
Without LeBron and AD.
Yeah, true. How excited are you for the season? But the Lakers, I think it was something 71 days they've had to recover. And some teams who didn't go into the bubble have more. So what is the expectation from you of how this season's going to go, especially with COVID, because they're not in the bubble anymore? Do you think that the teams that are well rested are going to do better? Or do you think it's the younger teams versus the older teams in recovery? Kind of like, what do you think?
It depends. That's a good question. It's kind of weird because yesterday I saw it. I was just like, preseason already? Like, we just won the championship, but it's going to be interesting, especially for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Especially for LeBron. He's going into season, what is this?
I think 15 or 16.
16 or 17. And that's a lot of, wear and tear in the body.
Exactly.
But I think LeBron takes very good care of his body.
100. I agree.
He deposits into his body. So it's going to be interesting. Those teams who weren't in the bubble, of course, fresh legs, ready to go.
Yeah.
Those teams who, fought to the bitter end, it just may be different. It's only time will tell.
Yeah.
Only time will tell. But I do know that, Lakers, we have some solid pieces that we acquired.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be good to, especially for this preseason run and maybe the first couple of months of this season. We may not have to have LeBron or AD get a lot of minutes, maybe.
I agree.
But like I said, it's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have Kyrie and Kevin Durant, and then you have Curry and Clay back. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but I know too it's also gonna be interesting because, like you said, they're not in the bubble.
Yeah.
So things are not so controlled. You know, it's gonna be up to these guys to, you know, follow protocol and, you know, not really hang out, play ball, not really hang out, and, you know, see where this goes. It's still weird. Like right now, basketball season is you know, is here.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. And I mean, I was watching SportsCenter like last week because I don't think they announced yet until like last week the Christmas Day games, and I'm like, Mavericks Lakers, please, I need this matchup so bad. And I got my Christmas. I think it was early Christmas present. So
It's interesting because, like you said, we just won the championship. But at the same time, this is also the time where they are playing. And, you know, I think they're either probably, they're fresh in, or at least not halfway, because they're fresh into the season to where, we definitely look forward to the Christmas games, because usually, you know, either LeBron is coming out with a new shoe for Christmas or another athlete has just a Christmas shoe. To where, you know, so it makes sense, but at the same time, it's just like, I just feel like we just won and played. So
you guys don't have that long to like say, oh yeah, we're top dog here. Like,
exactly. It's not a long stretch. You be like, okay, wait a minute, who? Okay, So it's definitely gonna be interesting. That's for sure. And you know, but I think, you know, these guys take care of themselves. They, you know, they're resting and making sure they're taking care of their body. So it's going to be interesting. And, you know, Lakers, we have another opportunity to make another run. So I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I'm behind them.
Yeah, love it.
You guys have so much. I think you guys improved on the bench. You have so many depths, so you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about playing LeBron or AD so many minutes. You have Montrezl Harrell. Speaking of him, played great against his former team yesterday. And
absolutely, he did really good, man. He did really good, man. Cook, Kuzma.
You
know, so we like I said, we got some pieces. So I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah, you guys want to hear a hot take here? It's gonna be the Nets and Lakers finals. If the Nets stay healthy, they're definitely going to.
Oh, Brooklyn Nets! Wow,
Nets Lakers.
That's a hot take.
That's
a really hot take.
Nets Lakers.
I mean, also, but look at this though, man. Houston has Boogie Cousins and John Wall, and, you know, with James Harden. So, and you still can't keep out Dallas.
Yeah.
No.
You know, you still cannot. You can't count Dallas out. Miami has proven themselves. They got to the big dance. So, you know, it's gonna be interesting. I will say that. But yeah, Kyrie and KD, we're gonna see how that goes.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna see
how that goes. It's like for the first time in a while, I feel like it's anybody can beat anybody. And I kind of feel like it's a March Madness type situation in the NBA now, because I love that. And I mean, for me, I'm a Sixers fan, so
okay.
Yeah, I know. We've been it's like a thing where it's like, okay, trust the process, but this has been a 5-year process, and then they went from trust the process to processing. So I'm like, hopefully we can be like, let's do something here. Like, I mean, Simmons and Embiid, and I'm a big Embiid person, and I think people have asked me like, okay, if you had to trade one of them, who would you trade? And I was like, I think I would get rid of Simmons. But then at the same time, we need his defense. So I'm just hoping finally we have a lot of new pieces. Hopefully with the Sixers, we get our crap together. New coach, new vibes. You know, the city of Philadelphia, I feel like the fans will open you up, like open arms. But, you know, they will kick you.
If you let them down,
Yeah.
They'll go on and kick you and boo you.
It would be great to kick you out if you're not doing well. Obviously, we see the situation with Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts with the quarterback situation. So, I mean, I'm hoping the Sixers will do something a little bit. I have no idea.
It's going to be – the East is definitely going to be tough because, you know, you got Boston, you know, you got the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets. So, it's, you know, you got Miami too, so it's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a tough one. We miss Jimmy Butler for sure. I was like, oh,
absolutely, Jimmy Buckets, Jimmy Buckets.
Yes, definitely one of my favorite players.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I love talking
about stuff. So I'm a New York Knicks fan. So I mean,
God bless you.
We look good yesterday, but even though it's preseason, but we look pretty good.
It's just preseason. It's just preseason, brother. It's just preseason.
But I gotta ask you this though. So I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan in football, and we're struggling in there. But what was it like being on the?
Sorry.
What was it like?
How about them Cowboys? Yo, Shannon Sharp is so funny, yo.
Yeah, he is. I mean, Stephen A. Smith hates on my Cowboys all the time.
Yeah, but Shannon. Shannon's Instagram whenever the Cowboys lose is some of the funniest stuff.
It really is.
On IG. I used to like Dallas back in the day. I was a big Tony Dorsett. I was a big Tony Dorsett fan. Yeah.
So I got to ask you
I'm old school.
Do you know about the Dan Marino age? Because my dad's a Dolphins fan.
Yeah, I listen. I used to watch Dan Marino, Mark Clayton, Duper, you know. So, yeah, I just remember, you know, Monday Night Football with my pops and, you know, watching them and you know, the whole nine. I was back then, too, like I said, I like San Francisco, but I was a running back. I played football, so I was a running back, so I always looked at the running backs. I looked at, like, Christian Okoye from the Chiefs. Right. You know, Tony Dorsett, like I said, Roger Craig, Thurman Thomas, the list goes on and on. Herschel, a bunch of them.
Yeah. You name it.
But what were you gonna say now about the Dallas Cowboys?
I was gonna ask you this. So you're on my boys podcast, Matthew Hatch. I had Matthew Hatch.
Yeah, that's my guy, Matthew and Terrell.
I'm still trying to get Terrell Owens on the podcast. He's gonna let me know soon. Hopefully. Now, since I have Arielle on board, I want him to be on here. So
nice.
I was gonna ask you, what was the experience like on being on the podcast with Matthew Hatchett and Terrell Owens, and what did you learn from them?
Well, we've hung out prior to that.
Yeah.
So it was just like, you know, hanging out with your friends. I met Matthew some years ago through I think we had a mutual friend, and then I met Terrell at a party, and then I just kept running into him, and then, you know, we became, you know, super cool, and, you know, he's a fan of the show, and I've always been a fan of his, but it was cool, man, just hanging out with those guys go between Matthew and Terrell, like those guys go back and forth. I'm just there, just in the background. I'm kind of like the ref in a way, but they are hilarious. Like they go back and forth. Like T.O., you know, throws it up there. It's like, listen, man, you know, I'm a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You know, they throwing stats at each other. I'm just like, yo, they are going in. So it was funny, man. It was really, really fun to just be on their podcast. It was an honor to be on the podcast and just chop it up with those guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool. I love these guys. I think I can throw my stats into it because I have some hot too. So.
Yeah, I was just, you know, for me also too was just, you know, watching both of those guys play. I think for me it was just asking them questions about certain games and what were, you know, what was going through their mind, or, you know, what was pregame like, you know, and, you know, for T.O., you know, the first thing I mentioned was, you know, what was it like when you caught that pass after dropping 3 or 4 passes from Steve Young and getting that pass in the end zone to kind of win that game. What was that feeling like? You know, what did you keep telling yourself, you know, to stay motivated and keep going? You know, like whenever I'm, you know, able to talk to athletes or entertainers, you know, I just go back to things that, you know, that made such an impact on me, or things that I saw. And I definitely asked them, like, what was it like? How did it feel? You know, what were you going through? You know, so that's what I look forward to.
Yeah, I want to know what that moment was
like.
I have one final question for me. I think before we start our rapid fire section. So, I mean, COVID and the year 2020 obviously is not the best like we thought it was going to be. And I asked this question, like, what has 2020 taught you? Because for me, it's taught that I can't take the simple things of going to the grocery store or, you know, like competing in my sport for granted. And like, I don't think I did, but I realized it in a way maybe I have. So what has the year 2020 taught you personally?
2020 has taught me to really you know, be present and sit down. You know, because I think, you know, through our lives we're always going, ripping and running. And I think it just taught me to just relax, sit down, be present, you know, be with the ones that you love, because life is sweet and precious. You know, we've lost a lot of people in 2020. So, you know, tomorrow's not promised. You know, definitely live for today, be present, love on those around you, let them know you care, let them know you love them. That's what 2020 has taught me. But at the same time, with everything that has, you know, gone on in this year, it's been a good year for me. You know, with you know, All American being, you know, super trending on Netflix, and getting the fans and, you know, new eyes on the show. But I think for me, just always staying centered, and knowing that, you know, everything is going to be all right. And really believing that, not just saying it, but actually truly believing it. With the chaos and everything that was going around, I just remained centered and remain very optimistic, and, you know, definitely keeping a positive attitude through it. And I think that's what's got me through this, is keeping a positive attitude through it all. So, you know, 2020, you know, people say, oh, it's trash, get rid of it. Yeah, it's been tough. But at the end of the day, when you look, you know, when you get up, and that's the key word, when you wake up, you know, you have that opportunity to do it again. You know, look up in the mirror and be like, yo, I got all my limbs, I can move, I can smell, I can see and talk, and in my right mind. And that right there, I think we, you know, take for granted sometimes. You know, being able to have a roof over your head, to, you know, just simply wash your hands with water. You know, some people don't have those luxuries. So, you know, for me, just being grateful for what I have, and not taking for granted people, and, you know, just keeping a positive attitude.
I love that.
That's well said. So now we do this. I do this segment called the rapid fire segment. We're gonna go bounce off each other, saying you get the answer quick as possible. But
okay.
So my first one here: Kawhi Leonard's laugh or Kevin Hart's laugh?
Kawhi Leonard. That's the funniest thing, yo. Kawhi Leonard's laugh.
Oh, I think you nailed that perfectly. Gosh, that's perfect. Oh my God, iconic. Have you ever played Kawhi Leonard? I know. I know who they're gonna call.
That's funny. I'll do a voiceover. That's about it.
Great. All right, for me, okay, East Coast or West Coast? I feel like
West Coast.
Okay. Yeah.
West. Palm trees and beaches, baby.
Who's the funniest actor that you work with right now?
The funniest actor that I've worked with right now. Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, it probably have to be Jamie Foxx.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
March Madness or the NBA Finals?
Ooh, NBA Finals. NBA Finals.
Okay.
What's your most memorable film? The most memorable film that you acted in?
Ooh, I mean, it probably have to be Boys in the Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was such a big film cultural wise. So yeah, Boys in the Hood.
LeBron or Michael?
Ooh.
I know I'm hitting you with the hard ones.
Dang, Arielle, good grief.
She's bringing it.
No disrespect to LeBron, but I come from the era of MJ.
I agree.
Two different eras.
Yeah.
Both amazing.
Yes.
Two different eras.
That's a hard topic.
Yeah. I love LeBron. My era, definitely Michael Jordan. So LeBron will probably go down as probably one of the as the best. It is what it is. Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But Michael Jordan will still be up there a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, Larry Bird said Michael Jordan is Jesus in sneakers.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
The shot that the last dance with me and my dad, I didn't grow up with Michael. Like, I think Michael's last season was the year I was born, and like I think 97, 98. So,
wow, yeah.
So I didn't obviously get a chance to see. So LeBron's more my era, but just watching the Last Dance and watching some of the reruns of Michael, the shots, like the turnaround, fade jumper,
fade away, baseline.
No one, I don't think, has even come close to something like that. No one.
He was just deadly. Like when he smelled blood, he didn't like ease up. He like put his foot on the gas.
Mm-hmm.
He was just a killer. Anywhere on the court, from the elbow, baseline, 3-point, vision, just everything, man. That dude. I mean, I'm glad The Last Dance came out to really for the younger generation to really see why, why old heads and people talk about Michael Jordan. They were like, oh no, Kobe. Like, we love Kobe, absolutely. But Michael Jordan really set the tone for Kobe and LeBron and all the rest of these players. And they'll let you know themselves, man. Michael Jordan was that dude and is still,
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
He learned a lot from that documentary. I took down some notes about it, and I definitely learned a lot from that documentary. And thank you for all. I mean, we just have to thank them for putting out some content while there was no sports.
Yeah,
that was
let me tell you something. I think that was like this may be a little too much, but this was like Roots. Yeah. My generation when Roots, my parents, it was a must-see TV. And it was like, Roots, oh my goodness, this is amazing. That's what The Last Dance was. It was an event. It was an event.
It really
is for sure.
And they had to push it up. I mean, because one girl I graduated, she was a year ahead of me. She was at Alabama. She was one of the editors. And apparently, so the last episode, I think, wasn't fully done until a week before.
I heard that. Yeah.
That's crazy. Like the fact that they had to do that so fast, but it definitely was what we needed. And I think it opened up doors for, future documentaries like that. And then my last rapid fire question, would you rather have, who would you like a next Last Dance documentary? Because in my head, I thought you could do one about Tiger Woods. That's the next good one. So who would you like to see?
I think, man, I would love to do The Last Dance. I mean, he's no longer here with us, but I definitely would love, for Kobe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, definitely Kobe Bryant for sure.
100%.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So the last two things here for me. Speaking of Kobe, obviously you're a big Lakers fan, and his daughter Gianna, that was terrible. And
Yeah.
obviously, where do you remember where you at that day, and what was your reaction to it, and then what did they mean to you? And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, or the essential workers?
Yeah, I remember I was Mom.
Oh,
I was at home, man, and it was in the morning, and I was just like, I could not believe it. What was going on. No, I'm good.
I'm fixing some bacon and eggs.
All right. That's my mom, y'all. I was at home, and I remember it was a gloomy day, and I think I checked my phone, and you it's a lot of stuff that comes up on the phone, and you're like, nah, man, I don't believe this, and then you actually start seeing and hearing, and you're like, man, and literally my heart just dropped. It was just a very somber day, to hear that, and he meant so much to so many people, and I had the honor of watching him play. A good friend of mine, Andrea Jones, she sang the national anthem at a Laker game, and she hit me up, and it was actually the day that he announced his retirement. So I actually have, let me see, I don't know if I have it here, but I actually have the letter that he gave the fans. It was a black envelope with the Mamba and a letter, and I still have the ticket.
Oh, wow.
And I have, I was where the seats were, I was literally right behind the basketball court.
Okay.
The goal. So I had a clear vision. So I got pictures, I got video of Kobe shooting free throws, the whole nine. So it was a blessing to be able to go to that. And like I said, that was when he announced his retirement. So I never forget that.
Yeah.
And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and the essential workers?
Yeah, I think I have a lot of friends who are nurses and doctors. A good friend of mine that I grew up with is a doctor. So, I'm constantly praying for them, for their safety. They're definitely going above and beyond. So just keeping them in prayer and letting them know how much I appreciate them for what they're doing. And hey, they got some cheerleaders for it.
Yeah, well said. And they're the real MVPs, and they deserve a pay raise for sure.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna let Arielle close this one out if you want to. So.
Well, seriously, thank you for coming on and taking the time out of your, busy schedule to sit down with us. Your conversation was open and honest, and I love that. I love how we were able to go back and forth and crack some jokes.
Yeah.
To me, it was such an honor to be able to interview a person like you. And I can't wait to see, you're doing amazing things right now, but I definitely, you're already big, but you're going to be legendary. And I'm so excited.
Oh, thank you very much.
What is in store for you? And also tell your mom I love her quote. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
You should start a Twitter, do some inspirational quotes.
Oh, please, no. It's hard enough getting her to answer the phone.
I would love that. I would be the first follower for that. But seriously, thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
Yeah, we appreciate you, and have a great holiday. And
yes, you too. Thank you for having me.
I definitely will start watching All American.
Yeah, please. Listen, you got time. You got till January 18th. So definitely get caught up, so you'll know as soon as January 18th hits, you're right in stride.
I'm excited. Oh,
so this wraps up episode 640 with Kareem Grimes, actor. Go follow him on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. He has some big projects coming up. Like I said, let's go All American, the best show in the nation for sure.
There it is.
So thank you again for joining us, and this is truly an honor. And obviously, tell Jalen I said what's up, and
absolutely,
you and your family stay safe.
Indeed, man. You guys have a good one. God bless you, and happy holidays.
Happy New Year too.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, indeed. Happy New Year. You guys have a good one.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
All right, bye.